Hey, this is Double R. I wanted to tell you that Anchor by Spotify is a great and easy way to make a podcast with everything you need and all in one place. Anchor has the tools to allow you to record, edit your podcast straight from your phone or your computer. When hosting with Anchor, you can distribute your podcast to all listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Best of all, it's totally free. So go down the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. This is the Let's Roll Podcast with your host, Double R. What up, everybody? It's your boy, Double R, the host that rolls the most, and welcome to the Let's Roll Podcast. Today's episode, we're going to talk about disabled movies and TV series. Basically, the episode, I'm going to talk about movies that have a disabled theme, TV shows that have a disabled theme. I also want to talk about if it's better for a able-bodied person to portray somebody with a disability or try to get an actor that has a disability to portray the character. We're going to talk about that, discuss this, and much more in this episode right after this.
This is Sammy Haney. I play Esperanza on Racing Dion. Watch Season 2 February 1st on Netflix. And get ready for my upcoming interview right here on the Let's Roll Podcast with Double R.
So let's talk about people that, or how people are portrayed with disabilities in movies, TV shows, etc. First question I want to get off with here is it better for a actor that has the disability or has a disability to portray a character that's in a movie or a TV show that does have a disability? Or is it better or worse, however you want to say it, for a able-bodied actor to portray characters? I have mixed feelings on this. For the most part, I understand why there's a lot of movies that are portraying a disability in the movie that actually have able-bodied actors. So, like I said, I got mixed feelings on this. I believe that depending on the movie, depending on the TV show, depending on the part, and what you want to portray or try to portray with a character that has a disability, it could go either way for me. I am not a stickler to that the character has to be portrayed by somebody that has a disability of the character they're portraying. I'm not really a stickler on that. It doesn't really bother me. It doesn't really bother me if a character is not being portrayed by the person, a actor or actress that has a disability that they're supposed to be portraying. Because I think, in some cases, and maybe in most cases, it's more impressive to me, way more impressive to me. And I don't want to knock anybody with a disability or an actress or anything like that. I find it way more impressive for an able-bodied person to portray somebody with a disability, and especially if it's a extreme disability. Like the example I can give you is My Left Foot. In that, I forget the actor's name. It might come to me eventually, but that was very impressive to me that person portrayed that character and was able to give that performance in how he had to portray somebody with cerebral palsy. That was impressive to me and deserves all the accolades he got. There was a more recent movie, I think it was a Stephen Hawkins movie. That was really impressive for that actor to pull off that performance. Now, let me give you an example on the opposite side of this. The TV series, the Middle, I believe it was, that had the actor that has osteogenesis imperfecta, but his character did not have osteogenesis imperfecta in the show. He portrayed a normal, able-bodied kid. And you can tell how they worked around some of the issues that he would have being portrayed as a normal kid. But it worked. So he portrayed a normal kid, but he also had a disability. Now, do I think it would have been better and more representative of the disability community and particularly OI for him to have OI? The character have OI and he portrayed that, and his character would portray that in the show too. Yes, I think that would have been great. Absolutely great. Oh, you know what? Was it? Yeah, it was the middle. No, was it the middle? Yeah, it was the middle. What was the other episode? Another TV series that had a actor that actually has cerebral palsy, and he played his character had cerebral palsy in the show. Can't remember what the name of that show was, but that was also great. Like that, I love that. But I don't have a problem with an able-bodied person portraying some character with a disability. Sometimes it's really good, good performance. Sometimes it's really bad. But I like, I can have it go either way. It doesn't bother me. I'm not, again, I don't get up in arms and going, why didn't you find somebody with, this particular disability to play that character? They already have it. They would know how to do it, blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't know for this for sure, but I would hope when they are filming a movie or a TV show that has a character with a disability, I would hope that they would have somebody on set that can, say, no, I wouldn't do it this way. I do it this way because of this or that, like you would have if it was a police officer or a police show, you would actually have a police officer on the set or a law enforcement officer on the set to give to make sure the actors are doing the nuances of a police officer. Same thing with somebody with a disability. I hope they have that on there. So that being said, I hope there is people on set to tell the actors and the directors and stuff to go, oh, no. There's no way we would do it that way, or, you would do it this way, or blah, 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 vice versa. So that's my opinion on actors and actresses that are disabled that play people with disabilities, that their character in whatever, like movie or TV show that they're playing, have a disability. I don't have a problem with that. That's fine with me. It doesn't bother me if you don't get an actress or actor with a disability to portray it. I would love to see more people with disabilities, actors and actresses, get parts in shows. And I would really love it if they would incorporate whatever disability they have within the show or movie that they're, the character they're portraying. With that being said, I'm going to come back and I'm going to discuss some of the movies that I like that have a disabled character or a disabled thing. So let's talk about some of the movies. I mentioned a couple of TV series that I liked that had characters with disabilities, or some without disabilities, but the actor itself had a disability. But I'm going to talk more about the movies that I like, and I call them my, not to offend anybody, but I call them my special need videos or movies, DVDs. Starting off would probably be my favorite movie is called The Other Sister, which is a movie about a young lady that is mentally challenged, and the struggle she has of wanting to be independent, and an overbearing mother that wants to protect her and don't want to let her grow up and be independent. And it's just a real coming of age story with a person with a disability, and I really love it. It's a great movie. Um, there's a couple of scenes in there that brings tears to my eyes because with all movies that has somebody with a disability, being that if it's my disability or a different disability, there are certain things that we can relate to when it comes to that because some of the experiences are similar and sometimes they're the exact same. Um, my next movie, I would say that I definitely uh, like is Radio. Radio is a true story about a gentleman that also has uh, is mentally challenged, and it's a black gentleman that the town. I mean, he got picked on, and a football coach takes him up under his wing and basically gets him to be a part of the football team in sports and as a trainer in a we'll call it an assistant coach, and um and it showed how he became a vital part of the school, even though he had a disability, even though he was way older than the kids that were there. The coach even tried to help him in school and help him be able to stay in school. And, it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but that's generally the movie. And there's a couple of scenes in that movie that really got to me. The next one would be I Am Sam. And I Am Sam is another movie. And I'm starting to see a theme here, but I'm sorry, there's not a whole lot of movies that don't have other disabilities. But I Am Sam is about a gentleman that is also mentally challenged. That is, I believe he ends up getting someone pregnant, and he has a baby girl, and the mother leaves the baby girl with him, and he starts to struggle to raise her. And of course, child protective services get involved, and it's just a story about him trying to fight for the right to raise his daughter, and how the society is against him from the get go. And there is one particular scene in there that really got to me, and I could feel his pain and his frustration, and man, I just kind of boohooed big time. And it was a scene where he basically, there's a line that he says over and over, and all the line is I try and I try and I try and I try, and the way he was presenting that line and the scene and the context of it, oh man, it just got to me big time. So we have the other sister, Radio, I Am Sam. Then we have the all-time GOAT of the movie, Rain Man. And Rain Man's a really good one about two brothers. One is, the way they say, he's an idiot savant, or the way we would look at it now, he would be autistic, and or considered autistic. But he has the ability to count cards. So his brother, played by Tom Cruise, and Raymond, played by Dustin Hoffman. Tom Cruise takes advantage of him. But it's also a family story that brings two brothers together. First, the younger brother has the alternative motive of using his brother has the ability to count cards and stuff to make money in Vegas, but he ends up realizing that was wrong to do. And this is another movie. It's been a while since I watched. Most recent movie that I watched and came out was called the Peanut Butter Falcon. That had a character that had Down syndrome or mentally challenged, I believe, and he was in a home, and he wanted to escape the home. He wanted to be able to go out and do things on his own. And he also had a love for wrestling. And he comes across a guy that's not a very good character. I mean, not a very good character as far as, he wasn't a good person in the movie. But he helps the guy trying to get to where he wants to go. And it's just like a buddy movie and a not really coming of age, but it's a cool little movie, small independent movie. But it was great. So let's recap again. We have The Other Sister, we have Radio, we have I Am Sam, Rain Man, and the Peanut Butter Falcon. Another movie I like is I was searching the house for it the other day, and I ended up having to buy a new copy of it. Is Simon Birch. That's a cute little movie about a young kid that's got a disability that makes him short, makes him awkward looking, and it's a good little movie. Then there's let's see, what was some other movies? What's Eating Gilbert Grape is a good movie, but most of the movies I keep talking about, which I find funny now that I think about it, they're all mentally challenged. There's very few movies that I could say that has somebody in a wheelchair. There is another one, I don't forget what it is, and I think it's on Netflix, but there was a movie about a guy that comes to help take care of a young teenager that is in a wheelchair. And that's a pretty good movie, but I can't remember the name of it. But most of the movies I like are the ones that have the mentally challenged characters, because I like to see the underdog overcome stuff. So, but those are pretty much my favorite movies. I'm sure there's a lot more, and I might do another episode where I talk about more movies and stuff that I like that have a disabled deal. When I come back, I'm gonna talk about how I relate my disability to movies when trying to explain what I have. So I'll be right back after this. Okay, as you all know, in previous episodes, I bring up the fact that I'm disabled. I have osteogenesis imperfecta, OI for short, and I try to relate every subject and topic that I talk to. It doesn't always work out, but I try to relate how that affects me by being a person with a disability, or how it associates with it, or whatnot. So talking about disabled movies and TV shows, I'm briefly going to touch on how I've used a couple of movies to explain or to get somebody to understand what disability I have. And the prime example and the easiest one to use to ask somebody if they've seen, so they understand what kind of condition I have to a degree, is Unbreakable, and also Glass. So the Unbreakable, I think Unbreakable, Split, and Glass are a trilogy of movies that are comic book type movies with people with special abilities or whatnot. But Glass, Mr. Glass, is a character that has OI, or osteogenesis imperfecta. And it stars Samuel L. Jackson. Even though I think it's kind of, in my opinion only, that it's unrealistic when it comes to OI, and for a character that tall and that big to break that easy. Now, when I say that, doesn't mean he still couldn't have OI, still couldn't break. But there's a couple of times in the movie where they talk about how easy he could break. And I just kind of, And the reason I say the height is another kind of, I don't believe it that much. And it's probably only because I've never come across anybody that tall or that big that has OI. Most of the people that I've come across and seen and met or talked to are short-statured or really short-statured like me. And you can really tell they have OI and really tell they got some messed up bones and stuff like that. So, but I use that particular movie to, when somebody says, like somebody might ask me, hey, why are you in a wheelchair? And I said, well, I have a condition called blah, blah, blah. And they kind of go, oh, yeah. And I said, have you ever seen the movie Unbreakable? And when I say that, a lot of times they go, oh, yeah, I've seen that movie. And so I explain the character that Samuel L. Jackson plays has what I have. And they kind of explain it in the movie. They give you the gist about OI. They don't give you full on details. Now, the other movie that I don't usually use to, have you ever seen this movie? The character in the movie, blah, 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 has OI. Now, I usually don't use that movie, but I have been mistaken for the guy that plays the character who has OI. Not only, I mean, the character doesn't have OI that they say in the movie, but he has OI. And that is Mad Max Fury Road. And there is a short little guy in the movie that has like an oxygen mask on, short, bald-headed, kind of really messed up looking. And that in reality, he's really messed up looking. Like, I don't mean he's ugly. I'm just saying his body and his shape and all that is actually real. It's not movie magic. But I've had somebody, maybe twice, had somebody said, hey, are you from Mad Max? Were you in Mad Max? And I'm like, no. Now, the only reason they say that is because we kind of look similar. And people with OI that have the more extreme type look similar in the face. Like we have the same shape, head, and we just have that same look. It's like somebody with Down syndrome. You can look at them and go, they have Down syndrome. Well, same case with us. You can look at people with OI, for the most of them, and go, oh, they have OI. Like you can just tell by their features. But those are the two movies that have come up in my life. Either I brought it up or somebody else has brought it up that I've used to explain, or, you know, to say, yeah, this character, you know, blah, blah, blah. The other one is, in the middle, which I've talked about. But I've used that to say, oh, that person on that show, that actor has OI. You know, or if I find out some other actor. The other way I've gotten asked if I was not necessarily had OI, but there was a guy that was a motivational speaker. He did a lot on Facebook. His name was Sean Stevenson, and you can look him up. He's done a lot of things, you know, like gone to Capitol Hill to talk to them about some, you know, just a bunch of stuff. Primarily, he was a motivational speaker, but he was bald-headed or had his hair cut short. I know I'm not totally bald-headed, but I cut my hair, buzzed it way, way, way down. Anyway, we kind of looked, I mean, we really weren't paying attention. It kind of looked the same. And I've had a couple of people ask me if I was Sean Stevenson, and I was like, no. You know, or if you put it side by side, you would go, oh, yeah, y'all don't really look alike. But we still have the same similar features in the face, similar body features, arm features, you know, etc. So that's my association, or what links me to like movies and TV, and just on my disability alone. But going back to movies and TV shows, the only thing I would want definitely is, and I'll use this as a prime example. I have an interview coming up with Sammy Haney of the Raising Dion series on Netflix. She's an up-and-coming actress that has OI. She's disabled in a wheelchair, etc. she's on a TV show. But as of right now, unless they change it, and I would encourage them to change it. But as of right now, her character, they don't say why she's in a wheelchair. They haven't mentioned the why. They haven't incorporated her disability. And what I would like is if a actor or actress is on a show or in a movie, incorporate their disability into that character, if all possible. I want to see more representation that way. I don't necessarily have a big problem with, well, we want an actor to play someone that has cerebral palsy, blah, 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 blah. So let's go get somebody with cerebral palsy. Well, that might not work because of their age. You know, they might need to find somebody that's older. Like portraying somebody that is older, or I'll put it to you this way. For example, My Left Foot or the Stephen Hawkins movie, both of those had to have a progression in the movie, right? So if I go out and get an actor or actress that's going to be in a movie that has a progression, because not so much in My Left Foot, but in Stephen Hawkins, he didn't develop his disability from get-go. I mean, it was a progression. So the movie had to show that progression. So you couldn't go out and get an actor that had cerebral palsy to play that character through the whole movie to show that progression without getting multiple actors. So I don't have a problem when they go out and get one actor to show a progression like that in a movie. That's fine with me. Fine. Again, the other thing I would say on that aspect is that as long as they had someone that dealt with people with cerebral palsy or whatever the disability is on the set to say, no, you wouldn't do it that way, you would do it this way, or so on. So that's the only time I have a problem with people that are not being portrayed in the movies with disabilities, or they haven't incorporated the actor's disability in the series or the movie. I think that would be more, it would be a lot better if they did that. But as far as saying, oh, if this character has blah, 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 you must go get an actor or an actress to play that part with that disability. Nah, that ain't no big deal to me. Like, just based on the situation. So, with that being said, make sure you check out the upcoming episodes with Sammy Haney and her parents. But look towards that coming out at the end of the month, right before the new season comes out, Raising Dion, season 2. And but that's it, man. That's it on disability movies and TV. Again, if I missed anything or didn't bring up anything, or you want me to talk about something else as related to that, hit me up. Go to our website at www.theletsrollpodcast.com. Find the contact information on there. Shoot me an email, a voicemail. If you're on Anchor, you can go and leave me a voicemail, and I can incorporate your questions or whatever into another episode. So I encourage you. I need feedback, guys. I need to hear from you. I need to know you're out there, you're listening, and it'd mean a lot to me if I could hear from y'all. Y'all can give me suggestions on episodes or be a guest or anything like that. Just let me know. With all that being said, thank you for coming out, listening to the episode. I am your host that rolls the most, Double R. This is the Let's Roll podcast, and as always, until next time, let's roll. Hey guys, Double R here, and make sure you check us out on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and our merch store. Follow us on all of our social media.